Hello, my name is Nicholas James DeLotte, and I'm the president of American Standard Media. As you know, News Talk Radio is one of the most profitable and hottest formats in the nation. With the exception of morning talk show hosts, most shows end up sounding the same. They all concentrate on national and international news. American Standard Media, which provides Glenwood's Bold Republic show, has taken syndication in a whole new direction. Because of the advent of the internet and 24-hour cable news stations, people are getting their political news talk from different sources. But what about the news that people care about the most? Regional and local content. American Standard Media, providing you with the Bold Republic show, has found a way for you to provide your listeners with that regional and local content that they desire. Without having to hire a local employee, we can provide a syndicated show for you and provide that regional and local news that your listeners are looking for. This is Glenn Woods. His personality is different. 5 days a week, we put him in a padded room, we lock the door and turn the microphone on just to see what happens.
See, I'm not really asking for all that much. At least I don't think I'm asking for all that much. All I really want is just a little bit of sanity in the world. Can we have that?
Old Joe, way back when, drunk on a golf course.
Isn't it tragic that it's not a crime to steal from the future?
Interesting.
Because if you were, we'd be committing grand larceny.
Would you label that as a
day.
future crime?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And now, wouldn't it be interesting if the people in the future had a time machine and they could take a look at what we had done to them and they could come back and charge us with that crime?
They're too broke to have a time machine. We stole all their money.
Hey, it's Cindy Hill, Glenn. How are you?
Very good. I am so glad, Cindy, that you were able to find time and squeeze me into what has to be a very busy day. So on the phone with me is Cindy Hill, who's calling from Cheyenne right now. And of course, the Supreme Court has just made a decision regarding your case. Cindy, what did we find out?
Well, it's unconstitutional.
Controversy
SF-104.
remains following the Hill versus Wyoming decision, the overturning of last year's bill, SF-104. Now we kind of have to clarify, because now we have a new SF-104.
Turns out Wyoming now has a bill that would involve the minimum wage, but also South Dakota does as well. In fact, 30 states now have in front of them bills that would raise the minimum wage. Well, a good test experiment would be something that's happening in a place called SeaTac and surrounding areas. And for that, we head over to the Western Watchdogs, and on video stream with us right now is Shelby Stevens. This is Glenn. Who's on the phone?
My name is Christine.
Hi, Christine. What you got for me?
What I'm calling about is the story that I'm trying to share across Facebook that my daughter shared this morning regarding the government shutdown is denying benefits to families of fallen soldiers who fell this weekend over Afghanistan. When my son Dennis was killed in 2011, he was serving with the South Dakota National Guard.
And
this is ridiculous.
And this is all because of the government shutdown, they're telling you.
Because of the government
Right.
shutdown.
You sound more than disappointed to me. I mean, you sound really cut to the core on this when people step forward to volunteer.
These kids are volunteers for us. This is not a draft. This is volunteer.
How exactly were they defunded? What happened that their families couldn't get benefits for a family member that was killed in action?
Well, this part of what the Department of Defense is claiming, that with the federal government shutdown, that blocking...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been saying since the whole shutdown started that this really, I've been calling it a fake shutdown, or better yet, a slowdown. Is my number right? About 17% of the federal government is actually shut down?
I think that's probably true. I guess I haven't heard that number.
We do not currently have an ambassador to France. I'm serious, we don't. Why not? I'll accept any answer as long as it's in the bounds of PG-13.
I think it's a cost-cutting measure.
You know, we did have an ambassador to France, but he gave up and came home.
Yeah? Why?
Well, because he lived in the French culture.
Okay, but the food is so good, but the taxes are so high, so okay.
Oh, I just thought you were kind of being unfair to Congress there with that drunken sailor comment.
So I thought I was being unfair to drunken sailors.
Well, see, drunken sailors did have a debt ceiling. It was the bottom of their pocket.
Oh!
When they were done spending their own money, they had to quit.
Okay, grab a pen and a piece of paper. It is now 3:10. The date is 2/12/2014. This is your brilliant moment. That was absolutely brilliant, and I'm going to cut out this phone call and paste it separately on my website so everybody can witness your brilliant moment.
Dennis, I don't have a comment on the French thing. It's just that I just now found out you was on this station, and by golly, I'll be listening to you.
Well, I'm glad you found me.
Hey, you know why you couldn't get an ambassador to France?
No, sir, but I know if anyone has an answer to this, Swede does.
Well, you know, he just raised the minimum wage by executive order. Maybe he can get somebody now. Nobody wants to work the minimum wage over there.
Offered you $15 an hour to go live in France and speak to the French socialist leaders over there, would you take it?
No.
How cold is it out there, Tim?
How cold? Freaking cold, man.
Now, how cold would that be again?
Freaking. Very freaking.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let me head over real quick and see if I can get him. Hey, Chaz, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I couldn't see your face, so I was nervous about the link.
Oh, no, it's I'm not that decent, so you don't really want to see me on camera.
Tim from Tampa is calling Chaz in the UK.
These prepper kits, they're very personal depending on where you live. And just being out there in Wyoming recently, I know that a few things I would change for my own personal list of Twinkies and bacon.
Vote to raise the debt ceiling?
I would be very, very hesitant to do that. I think that the debt is clearly one of the huge challenges we face.
But hesitant isn't a yes or a no.
No, and I think it depends on sort of what you're looking at. It depends.
Should have Laura Hubble on the phone right now. Is this Laura?
This is Laura.
This is good to hear from you. Laura is running for governor of South Dakota and West. We moved here to be free, to get away from overbearing government rules, regulations, taxes, and to secure our liberty, except that they found us. So we have to restore the West to what it was meant to be, and we have a plan.
Sorry, sir. You don't speak English. You in Mexico. You make a wrong turn.
Let's move them along, folks. Herd them on through.
Hey! Can't you read, boy? No guns, no service. Where's your sidearm?
Whenever you come across a California license plate or someone from the East Coast like Massachusetts or New York, do whatever you can to keep them moving.
Sorry, sir. Wyoming has declared California license plates illegal. So has Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Nebraska. I'm afraid you can't stop until you get to Illinois.
Yes, the West will be the West again. As soon as we run off all the bleeding hearts, and we're working on it. Help us out, won't you? Brought to you by the Restore the West Foundation. On the phone with me now is Tim from Tampa. We sent him a plane ticket to go to Denver, Colorado for the opening of these shops, which we find in the downtown area and throughout Colorado with slight haze in the mile-high city. Tim,
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah.
Hey, man, how's it going? I'm standing out here in this strip mall and next to one of these shops, and there's a lot of people here.
I hear the lines go around the corner. How's the traffic? Any problems? Any issues out there?
They go around the corner, down the block. There's a couple of futons on the side of the road. People are chilling. It's a good time, man.
All right. So no trouble though. I mean, I know the police are on the scene. There's extra security, but any problems?
No, there was a slight incident earlier. The 7-Eleven next door, they were out of Doritos, but then people dispersed when they realized that there was really nothing to get excited about. There was Cheetos too, so it's all cool. I don't know if this is the altitude here or what, but I'm feeling good.
I'm Glenn Woods with your Coast to Coast political weather forecast. That dead front still in California, stalled there, no signs of moving. In the upper Midwest, Illinois, a Union snow front is burying the city and state, much like it's buried Detroit. Let's step outside, find out what's happening with Tim. How cold is it, Tim?
It's freaking cold, man.
How cold?
Real freaking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I interviewed the governor, a nice long conversation with him. He was very proud of where that last budget had gone. And at the end of his long spiel, I let the man talk, and then I asked him a very simple question. So are we spending more or less? And has government gotten bigger or smaller? And he had to finally break down and admit, well, okay, we're spending more, government's getting bigger. So under his new budget, is government getting bigger or are we spending more?
Government's getting bigger and we're spending more.
The question is what can we do for you? Well, I'll tell you. Our first 2 affiliate stations that we picked up when we started this syndicated talk show doubled their advertising in the first 6 months that our program was on their station. Think about this. Our affiliate stations have doubled their advertising revenue during our time slot. We all need to find our niche in the market, and we have a way to provide that niche for you. Don't give your listeners the same programming that everybody in the nation is providing for their listeners. Blow away your local market by providing something different. If you would like more information on how to become one of our affiliate stations for the afternoon drive time, please contact me, Nicholas DeLotte, President of American Standard Media, a new standard in American media.